Hey you guys, I'm Shayla and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is all about me answering your questions. I asked you all a few weeks ago to ask me questions about my prep, and now I'm going to answer all of them. I will say this video is late, so I apologize. I am currently 5 weeks out in real life. I was supposed to record this video when I was 7 weeks out. When I was 7 weeks out, prep was kicking my butt. I was so tired and fatigued, and I was kind of frustrated too because my body wasn't changing as much as I wanted to. So I didn't really record like I was supposed to. So I just kind of want to give you all a little background on my fitness journey, well, my bodybuilding journey. I started bodybuilding last year in 2021, and I did it because honestly, I just needed a new challenge. I needed change. I felt like I was working out, but I wasn't working towards a goal. I was just working out on a daily basis. And for me, when I'm doing something and I'm not working towards a goal, it's a quick way for me to burn out. So I was like, okay, Shayla, you have to switch something up. And I wanted to completely change my body too. And I was like, okay, well, bodybuilding would be perfect for that because it takes a lot of discipline. It takes consistency. It takes patience. It takes a lot of hard work. And it wouldn't be something that I could just jump into and just think that I would do really good, get on stage and win a show. Like, I really have to work for the results and practice my posing and perfect that and really deliver a full package when I get on stage. And so I was like, okay, let me try out bodybuilding. Let's see how it goes. And it's so crazy because before that, I never thought about bodybuilding. So my first show, I did bikini. And the reason I did bikini is because I was kind of in the middle. My coach called me a tweener. He was basically saying that I wasn't small enough for bikini, but I also wasn't big enough for wellness either. And he was like, I can go either way. He wanted me to do both, but I was just a little too nervous to do both, learning both poses and routines and things of that nature. So I just sided with bikini. Went through, oh gosh, how long was my prep? I think my prep was about 4 months, if I'm not mistaken. 4.5 months. I started off with one coach, and then I realized that coach wasn't the best for me. So then I switched to my current coach now. And I think I was with him for about 4 months. And then I got on stage, and it was literally the most difficult thing that I have ever done. Oh my goodness. It was so challenging. I know I'm like smiling and laughing now, but I wanted to cry. I think I did cry a few times. I'm like, why am I doing this? Who would put themselves through this misery? I'm just like, this is horrible. But looking back, it was definitely worth it. It taught me a lot of lessons, and we'll kind of get into that some more too as I answer your questions. I don't want to bore you all too much. In the beginning, I kind of want to jump right into those questions that you all have. And now this year I'm doing wellness, and I'm really, really excited because I feel like my physique just fits wellness so much better. Let's jump right into the questions. I have divided the questions up. I had to write it down. So if I'm looking down, it's so I don't forget. I divided the questions up into, looks like 4 main talking points. So the first set of questions are about coaching. The second set of questions are about my training program. The third set of questions are about just general prep questions that you all have. And then the last thing is my favorite protein, because I had some questions on that. Talk about why I decided to do wellness, because that's one question that I get asked a lot. And then someone also asked me if you could do both wellness and bikini. So at the NPC level, I feel like it's definitely okay to do both wellness and bikini because the judges will give you feedback. You may not feel like you're small enough for bikini. You may not feel like you're big enough for wellness. So if you do both, then you can get feedback from the judges and they'll let you know which division you fit better in. So I think it's actually a great idea to do both. And just to kind of see which one you enjoy more. And so that's exactly what I did. I only did bikini, and I got feedback from the judges. They said that I had a really good stage presence. I just needed to come in leaner. And when they said that, I 100% agree because I cheated a lot on my first prep. I could not control the urge to cheat. I will say that. I guess I could control it. I just didn't want to. and it definitely affected how I looked on stage. And I'll be sure to put pictures like somewhere up here so that way you all can see exactly what I'm talking about. So I was lean, don't get me wrong, I was small, I felt like I looked good, but I definitely could have done better if I would have stayed on track. So the question is, do I have a coach, and how much does a coach cost? So I do have a coach. I have two different coaches. The first coach is my prep coach, and he pretty much controls everything. So he gives me my meal plan. He tells me my workout split. We'll talk a little bit more about my workout program later in the video. I do check-ins with him every single week. He lets me know if I'm on track, things I need to add in, take out. He pretty much just gives me a full layout of what I should be doing week by week. And I chose to hire a coach because I need the accountability. I need the support, because if I had to only rely on myself, I just don't know if I would make it through the full prep. And sometimes I freak out and I get a little discouraged because my body's not changing as fast as I want it to. And he's just like, no, Shayla, it's okay. Your body is fine. It is on track. So sometimes I don't see what he sees. So having a coach is extremely helpful for me. As far as how much a coach costs, it varies. It's going to depend on if you want your coach to train you in person or online. It's also going to depend on what you need from that coach. Do you need a training program and a nutrition program, or just one or the other? So in-person training with training and nutrition program is going to be a lot more than an online coach who is giving you a nutrition program and a training program. Sometimes. There are some online coaches that charge a lot because they have the experience, they have the track record, they have the results to prove that their method works. So they're able to charge a lot more. So I have seen online coaches charge from $100 to $600. The $600 coach, he was like an Olympian coach. So all of his athletes, for the most part, were Olympians, or they were on track to become Olympians. So you have to kind of keep that in mind. If it's a newer coach, they'll probably charge a little bit less. But then as they become more experienced and their athletes do better and better, they'll raise their price as well. Now, when it comes to online coaching, I feel like you can honestly kind of get a little bit more for your money. Now, I will say it's going to take a certain amount of self-discipline to make sure you stay on track, but they can design your entire workout program for you. That way you know exactly what you're doing every single day. And then they also can create a meal plan for you. And usually with online coaches, they will have you check in with them on like a weekly basis, or sometimes on a daily basis. When you get closer to stage, at least for myself, I know that my coach has me check in with him every single day. When I'm 2 weeks out, he wants to know my weight every single day. And then he wants like pictures and stuff, and just to see how I'm looking to make sure everything is perfect for stage. So everybody's a little bit different. So to answer that question, how much does a coach cost? It can range from $100 to $600 from what I've seen so far. But on average, I would say you'll probably have to pay somewhere around $200 to $300 for your average prep coach per month. I also have a posing coach. I decided to get a posing coach because I needed a second opinion. Last year, I didn't get a posing coach, I want to say until towards the end of my prep, maybe the middle/end of my prep. And looking back, I definitely wish I would have started off with a posing coach, because I had a lot of work to do. It's like night and day. When you look at my posing from last year compared to this year, it is completely different. My arms were like everywhere when I was posing. I felt like I was just doing too much. Let's just say that. I was doing way too much. And so this year I'm trying to just be a lot more calmed and just graceful with my movements. Also, when you get a posing coach, they can give you little tips and tricks to perfect your posing. One thing that my posing coach does is she has me hold each pose for about 30 seconds. So when it comes to wellness, you have a front pose, a side pose, a back pose, go back to the side, and then back to the front. So when I was posing with her, she had me hold the front pose for 30 seconds, switch to the side pose for 30 seconds, and go all the way around. And go all the way around. And by the end of it, I was literally like shaking, trying to hold my pose like this. I'm like, because as you're holding it, you got to keep your stomach tight. You have to smile. You just have to look like you're having a good time, even though it burns, it hurts, and you just want to exhale, but you can't. You have to keep it cute, keep it tight, and just wait until it's over with. And I really do appreciate her doing that, because now I do that on my own. So that way I'm ready for stage. So having a posing coach will make a difference, and I suggest getting one to help you out, especially if you're struggling with posing. And you don't have to pose with your coach every single week. So I purchased 4 packets. My posing coach charged $50 per session, but if you got 4 sessions, you get $25 off. So that's what I did. So I believe, what month is it? September. So I did a consultation with her. I want to say back in July. My memory is like off right now. And then I want to say I did another session. No, then I did 2 sessions with her in August. And now I'm going to do 2 more this month. I think that's how it worked. So the first session was free, and then I paid for 4 sessions. And I think, honestly, that's all I need. I might pay for like 1 additional session right before the show, just so she can see me as my body gets leaner. And that's the thing. The leaner you get, the easier it is to pose. And I remember my coach last year telling me that. I'm just like, how is it? How is that possible? I feel like it's always going to be hard. But the leaner you get, the less fat you have on your body. You don't have to work as hard for your muscles to pop. So when I was 18 weeks out, I really had to adjust my body to see different muscle groups pop out, to see my glutes, to see lines in my legs, because I had a higher body fat percentage. But now that I'm leaning out, if I just turn in the slightest way, I can see all of my lines, well, not all, some of my lines starting to pop. So I'm like, oh, okay. So the leaner you get, your posing will change slightly, and it does get a little bit easier, but it's still not easy. You still have to keep practicing on a daily basis. I would say for about 30 minutes, bare minimum, every single day, just so you get used to it. And also posing after your training session really does help too, because it's going to build the endurance that you'll need on stage. Do I have a personal trainer? I don't have a personal trainer that I go to on a weekly basis to take me through workouts. I did hire someone to take me through workouts occasionally, and he just gives me that extra push that I need, because sometimes I get tired, sometimes I get lazy, sometimes I'm just not motivated. So I can hit him up and say, hey, can you take me through a workout this Thursday? If he has something available, then we do the workout, and it pushes me. And I like that because it keeps me going. I want all my workouts to count. Some athletes do have a coach and a personal trainer, meaning like their coach may live in a completely different state, and then their personal trainer lives close by, so they take them through their workouts. So if you have a coach and a personal trainer, then your coach will pretty much create the guidelines for you to follow, and then your personal trainer can just implement the exercises. So your coach can say, hey, this is your split. I need you to do legs this many times a week, upper body this many times a week, cardio this many times a week. And then you tell your personal trainer, and they will create workouts that fit within that workout split of yours. So that's pretty much what I do, but I do it myself. So my coach creates my workout split, and we'll talk about my training split shortly. And then I create the exercises for each day. So the last question of this section is actually going to lead into the next section, which is my training program. Do I create my own workout and meal plan? So my coach creates my meal plan. There are basically 2 different types of meal plans or nutrition programs you can have. So you can do a meal plan, or you can do a macro-based meal plan. And it's completely up to you. Or it might be up to your coach too. Maybe some coach prefers one or the other. So a meal plan is basically a structured plan of foods that you can eat, and then you just kind of build your own meals according to what your coach has listed out for you. Someone who's on a macro-based meal plan has a little bit more flexibility. So macronutrients are your carbohydrates, your fats, and your protein. And these are the 3 nutrients that are going to give you the most energy and make sure your body functions correctly. You have to meet those 3 macronutrients on a daily basis. I like to use MyFitnessPal. So if I was doing a macro-based meal plan, I would just use MyFitnessPal, put in all my foods, and it calculates it for me. There's other apps out there too. It's just, for me, it's the most intuitive app to use, and I really like it a lot. But it's a little bit more time consuming. So that's why I do the meal plan for conveniency. And that's why I really like the meal plan, just because my coach will lay out my macros and say, hey, for instance, for breakfast, he'll say carbs, fat, and protein. For carbs, I might choose oatmeal. For fat, I might choose almond butter. And for protein, I may choose a protein shake. And that's my meal. Oatmeal with almond butter and a protein shake. And then I can also have a side of fruit. So everybody's meal plan is going to look different, but that's just what I prefer. All I have to do is look at my meal plan, put my meals together, and I'm out the door. It's super easy for me to do. And then when it comes to my workout program, my coach creates my workout split, and then I put the exercises into each day. So last year when I trained with my coach, he kind of revamped the way that I was training to fit his training method. So I take some of what he does, combines it with my training methods, and I just created a program that way. So let's jump into the next set of questions. All of these questions have to do with my training program. So the first question that I was asked was, how long are my workouts and what is my workout split? And it looks like they were asking me the difference between my workout split in season and when I'm in my improvement season, so like off season. So my workout split is a 6-day split. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I do legs. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do upper body. On my leg day, I make sure that I hit my glutes, my quads, and my hamstrings twice a week. So Tuesday may be like glutes and hamstrings. Thursday is I think glutes and quads, and then Saturday is hamstring, quads, but then I'll also throw in some calves as well. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'll do normally like a chest and back, Wednesday, shoulders, and then Friday, biceps and triceps. That's how it was in the beginning of prep, meaning I would say the first 8 weeks. Now I do shoulders twice a week. So I'll do chest and back, I'll do shoulders, and then I'll do shoulders again with biceps and triceps, just to really develop my shoulders. I feel like we got some work to do. So I was like, let me add in another shoulder workout to see how my body is starting to change. And I'm definitely starting to see a difference. I don't know if y'all can tell right now, but when I'm in a tank top, I can tell. I don't have a pump right now, but usually like once I have a pump, you can tell a little bit. So we're getting there. As far as what my workout split is on my off season, honestly, I don't know, because I've never really had a improvement season, because after my first show, I said I wasn't going to compete again. So I just did what I enjoy doing. I love running. I love doing calisthenics. I love cycling. So I really didn't focus on putting on muscle. So my improvement season going into, I guess, next year, I am really going to focus on areas that I need to build. My legs is definitely one of them. And the thing about me is, even though I'm competing in wellness, I'm very proportioned. So when I look at bikini, they look very proportioned from top to bottom. When I look at wellness, they have nice proportions, but they have like a nice petite upper body, but then they have really thick thighs. You can see the difference between their upper and their lower. And I don't really have that. I'm pretty like straight up and down. So during my improvement season, after I finish competing, I will be focusing on building up my lower body. So that way there's a little difference between my upper and my lower. I want to make sure I have more mass on my lower body, as well as rounding and capping my shoulders a little bit more. I feel like I can definitely use that tapered look. But that's pretty much what I'm going to focus on. It varies. So in the beginning of prep, I was doing 4 days at 25 minutes of cardio, and I would do that if it was an upper body day before my workout, if it was a lower body day after my workout. But in the beginning of prep, since I was only doing 4 days of cardio, I try not to do the cardio on the days I was doing legs. I try to only do it on my upper body days as much as possible. So let's say it's a chest and back day. It normally takes me about an hour and 15-20 minutes to get through chest and back, and then I had another 25 minutes of cardio to do. If it's a leg day, it normally takes me about an hour and 30 minutes to get through my leg workouts. For that, now my workouts are much longer because I have an hour of cardio to do. So I have to do about an hour and 15 minutes of upper body workouts and then another hour of cardio. So I'm looking at basically 2.5 hours in the gym. If it is a lower body day, I have to remind myself to do cardio after my legs. I just like to get in, do the cardio, get it over with, but it's not good to do that because then you pre-exhaust your legs and your workout is not as good. So if it's a leg workout, I go in, I do my leg workouts. It takes me an hour and 30 minutes, and then I do another hour of cardio. So it ranges, I guess, between 2 to 2.5 hours for me to get through my entire workout. What type of workout split do I prefer? It depends on your fitness goals, honestly. If you are really trying to improve certain muscle groups, then you definitely want to isolate them. You don't, like if you're working out 3 days a week and say you're doing 3 full body days every week, there's nothing wrong with that. But if your goal is to really build your glutes, you want a glute specific day so that way you can focus on that muscle group. Whenever you're doing a full body workout, you're directing your attention to multiple things at once. So it could be glutes, it could be shoulders, and it could be biceps. And so now you have to divide your training up into 3 different sections versus just directing your attention to your glutes for that entire hour, hour and a half that you're in the gym. So if you are focusing more so just like on maintenance, maybe your physique is where you want to be and you just kind of want to maintain, then you can do a workout split that groups more muscle groups together, meaning instead of doing a 6-day workout split, you could do maybe a 4-day workout split. You don't necessarily need to isolate every single muscle group on every single day. Like I don't need just a leg day, just a shoulder day, just a back day, just a chest day, something like that, or a chest and back, however you want to do it. So it's just going to depend on your fitness goals and how much time you can allocate to going to the gym. Because like if you're only going to the gym 3 days a week, then you are going to have to group those workouts, group those muscle groups together so that way you hit everything. So the easiest way to do your workout split is, one, you need to know all the major muscle groups. So, like your chest, your back, your shoulders, biceps, triceps, etc. Write down all the major muscle groups. If you're not familiar with it, literally go on Google, type in major muscle groups, and then it will list it out for you. And then what you do is just write down how many days you can go to the gym. So if you can go to the gym 5 days a week, then implement those muscle groups into each day. So Monday could be a leg day. But remember, with your legs, you got your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, calves, stuff like that. So you want to do exercises that hit your entire leg if you're just doing legs 1 day a week. And then on Tuesday, it could be maybe an arm day for you. So you write down biceps and triceps. On Wednesday, it can be a chest and back day for you. So you write down chest and back. And then maybe you want another leg day in there. So on Thursday, you do another leg day as well. So if you have 2 leg days, now you can split up your focus a little bit. So on Tuesday, you can do glutes, hamstrings, calves. And then on Thursday, you can do glutes again and maybe focus a little bit more on your quads. So you see how the more days you can dedicate to training, you can really start to isolate different muscle groups and really promote that growth. But still, if you're going to the gym 3 to 4 days a week, that's not bad. It's just your workout split is going to be different from someone who's going 5 to 6 days per week. So I don't really have a workout split preference. I think it's just important to make sure you're hitting all the major muscle groups every week, no matter if you're doing full body workouts 3 days a week or if you're able to do a workout split that's 5 to 6 days a week. Just make sure you're not overtraining and make sure you're not neglecting certain muscle groups, because then you're going to create an imbalance where one muscle is stronger than the other, and that can create problems and injuries in the long run. So these next three questions pretty much go together. You all were asking me how much weight do I lift when I'm in the gym doing different exercises. You all asked me, why do I do so many reps and sets? And do I incorporate progressive overload? So I'm just gonna kind of talk about all three of these questions all at once. So when I am doing my training program, I like to write everything down. In the past, I didn't as much because I would just memorize it. I'm like, I know how much weight I lift. But now that I'm getting more serious about bodybuilding, I literally write everything down. So when I go to the gym, I know exactly how much weight I did yesterday, last week, the month before. So that way I know what to do on that specific day. Because what I don't want to do is stay at the same weight week after week after week after week. I don't necessarily need to go up every single day I go to the gym or even every other week, but I do need to start to make progress. So for instance, on my shoulder workout video, let's start there because someone was asking me about the weight that I use. So if I'm doing lateral raises, the first set, so if I'm coming out, I'll put a video. I normally will start off with about 10 pounds. And that's just because that is like my warm-up set for the first set. I do 5 sets of everything for the most part. Feels good. I don't want my first set to be my heaviest weight. And then if I still feel a little tight or unsure if I can go up, then I'll do another set at 10 pounds. And then after that, on set 3, I'll take it up to about 12.5 pounds, do that. And then on set 4 and 5, I'll usually do 15 pounds. So you see how I'm gradually going up. And I listen to my body. My body will tell me, oh, Shayla, stay there. That's too much weight. Or Shayla, this is a little bit too easy. So when I get to the last rep and my arms are up, if I did it with ease, wasn't struggling at all, then I know that I need to go up on my weight. If I do the last repetition and I was like shaking, struggling to get the weight up, then I may stay at that weight for another set before I go up. I honestly play it by ear and I just kind of listen to my body. When it comes to my training, I do implement some training methods from like progressive overload, meaning that I am challenging my body enough to that way it responds to what I'm lifting. Now, I do what's called high volume training. So I usually will complete 5 sets and 15 to 20 reps of whatever exercise that I'm doing. Like, do I always get to 20 reps? Absolutely not. I do not. There are some days where I'm like, okay, Shayla, you got to get 20 reps in, and I get to 13 and then I'm tapped out. And that is fine. So my goal is to push past my comfort zone, because there's just been so many times where I say, hey, I'm going to do 10 reps of this exercise. I get to 10 and I'm not even tired. I'm not breathing hard. I did it with ease and I don't like that. So what I do is I set the bar really high to 20 reps. And then I'm going to do is whatever I can to get to that 20 rep range. If I fall short a little bit, that is okay. At least I know in my mind that I tried as hard as I possibly could. Because to think about like growth and stuff, when it comes to muscle growth, you really have to challenge your muscle groups. You have to put enough weight on your body for it to respond. You can't think that lifting the same weight for months after months after months is going to give you these amazing results. So that's why it's so important to write things down. So that way, each month you can reflect and go back and be like, okay, so last month when I was doing bicep curls, I was using 10 pounds. Let me try 12 pounds. Let me try 15 pounds. It doesn't hurt to try, just see. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, go back down to the lighter weight. There's nothing wrong with it. All right, and the last question in this section had to do with like my warm-up exercises. Someone was asking me if I go to a massage therapist or a chiropractor. I do not. I've never been to a chiropractor. I'm a little nervous. I don't know how I feel about them. And I have been to a massage therapist, but it has been years. And the person asked me, I think because the exercises that I do were things that her chiropractor was telling her to do as far as stretching and things of that nature. So I've been doing group fitness and personal training for years. Wow, since 2012. Yes. So I started teaching group fitness classes in 2012. I became a certified personal trainer in 2013. And so I just have an entire library of exercises and warm-up routines built up over the years, from teaching, doing research, going to yoga classes, taking Pilates classes, cycling, and working with different instructors as well, because every instructor is so different. So I just learned things from other instructors and personal trainers, going to workshops and things of that nature. And I also ran track and field in high school. So whenever I do my warm-up, you'll see a combination of a few things. You'll see some like athletic performance stuff. You will see some mind-body exercises, especially like from yoga as well. And then you'll see like just some dynamic stretching, which is just stretching while moving. You'll see all of that in one to create one, honestly, like dynamic warm-up. And I do that because I love sports. So I have to sprinkle in some sport-inspired exercises. I love yoga, and I love the technique that they use within yoga, so I have to sprinkle that in as well. And I just kind of create my own warm-up based off of things that I've learned over the years and what I'm doing on that specific day. So I want to make sure I'm warming up a specific, whatever muscle group I'm working, I want to make sure that muscle group is properly warmed up as well. So yeah, that's where I get my warm-ups and stuff from, just years of teaching group fitness classes, personal training, doing research, and just going to other classes and trainers and workshops kind of built up over the years.